welcome to another video. I thought today that I would do another Q&A because I haven't done one in a while, and I always like to do them, like I say, so that I'm answering your questions. They're all recovery related questions. I know sometimes I do like lifestyle and personal questions as well, but I want to do one just answering eating disorder recovery questions specifically. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really stuck for video ideas, so if you have any ideas or videos you want me to do, please tell me, or message me on Instagram, which is in the description. First question is how to stop obsessing over food all the time. I think this comes with recovery. Like, I still think about food. I've been in recovery for way over 2 years and I still think about food like on a daily basis. Obviously I've just had a relapse, so it's a little bit different for me than it usually would be, but you know, I usually would still think about food a lot, and I think that's normal. It also depends how health conscious you are. Like, I am, you know, making sure that I'm eating enough. I'm still finding my balance, so I am having to be very aware of what I'm eating, you know, just to make sure that I'm eating enough of everything and that kind of thing. Once you develop a healthy relationship with food, like, I used to get petrified every time I would go to eat something, and I would like have to plan in my head what I'm going to eat next, even if that like next was it a couple of hours later on in the day. So I think it's all about giving your body what it needs, introducing fear foods into your diet slowly, so you're not overwhelming yourself, but you know, you're still getting more and more comfortable with food, and just challenging your eating disorder. And then you'll be able to get more comfortable with food, and you won't have as much of an unhealthy relationship with food until you get to the point where I am now, where you're pretty much comfortable with it. You might still think about it, but it's not in an unhealthy way, and I'm sure you won't be thinking about it like forever. It definitely not like obsessing over it. So someone's asked me to speak about hair loss during recovery, or like during your eating disorder phase, and they mentioned that this isn't a spoken enough about topic, and I totally agree. Like, the side effects of an eating disorder, of starving yourself, are not spoken about like half as much as I think they should be, because I feel like a lot of people feel ashamed, you know, that they have like excess hair on their body because their body's trying to keep them warm because they're starved, you know, dry skin turning white or blue. But you know, I think talking about it is a good thing. I think it's something we need to talk about more, because it's nothing to be ashamed of. You can't help that you have like a mental illness, even if you're not like diagnosed. You know, you can't help what you're doing to yourself. I'm sure you're trying your best to get out of the situation, and like, you didn't ask for this, so you shouldn't be made to feel ashamed of things such as your hair falling out. It's stuff that will get better with recovery. I didn't actually realise, but my hair, until I took a before and after photo, a comparison photo, I had no idea that my hair had thinned. It's cut off from like the bottom of my chin, but you can see my hair here, and in the first one you'll see that it's so much more thin than it is in that other photo. It's crazy what starving yourself does to your body. You know, when you're doing it, it doesn't seem dangerous because you're in such a dark mindset that you're not thinking about the consequences. Okay, someone asked me to talk about how to cope with your friends and family eating less than you, or being on diets when you're in recovery. I think this is a really important thing to talk about, because like, it's really, really tough. Luckily, I kind of kept to myself during recovery, to be honest. It's just me and my dad who live together, and you know, he doesn't eat enough. Like, he doesn't have the healthiest lifestyle, but I was still very aware that most people my age didn't eat enough, and they still don't. Like, people used to go like the whole school day without eating, and I couldn't do that. I was like, what is wrong with you? So just know that I think half the time when people are eating a lot less than you, like if you're in recovery, you should be eating, you know, the recommended. So I aim for 3 meals and a couple snacks a day, and that's what you should be eating at bare minimum. If someone's not eating that, that's them not eating enough. That's not you eating too much. It's very common, especially when you're a teenager, when you're around this sort of age. But people don't eat enough, you know, because we're not educated on what our bodies need. I feel like they should talk a lot more in school about how much you should be eating and stuff. Also, they're their own person. Like, they have different needs, you know. They might be on a diet because maybe they feel like, you know, they are too big, but that doesn't mean that you need to be on a diet. You're in recovery for a reason, you know. You'll need to concentrate on yourself. You need to look after yourself, and don't worry about what other people are doing. My eyes are watering because the sun's going in and out, and it's confusing my corneas. One of the questions is how to start recovery. To be honest, there will always be a little part of you that isn't going to want to recover. You know, you have an eating disorder, your eating disorder isn't going to want you to recover, and it's going to try and put you off recovery. You've just got to, like, you know, push through that, and know that that voice will get quieter and quieter until it eventually goes away if, you know, you just keep pushing, keep fighting. It really helped me, like I said, to aim for the minimum of 3 meals and a couple snacks a day. As soon as I like decided that I wanted to recover and I actually started, you know, doing it properly, I don't know, I feel like something just clicked. There was a lot of times I tried to recover but I was doing it half-heartedly. You know, if you're reaching out and you're asking me how to recover, I feel like you're probably ready, you know. I mean, like, it's never too early or too late. Like, there's never a right time to choose recovery. A lot of people will say that, like, there's a moment in your illness when, like, you just, you know, things just kind of click into place. And for me, it was my hospital appointment when they gave me a meal plan and stuff. That was really something to work towards. Getting professional help definitely helped me, but even if you can't get that, like, I feel like, you know, of course you can still recover. Just take it slow, you know, aim for a bare minimum. You can, like, stick to a lot of safe foods. Pretty much all of the stuff I ate was safe foods. And then, you know, I slowly introduced stuff into my diet. Or, you know, I'd have small portions of foods that, you know, were like fear foods for me, or like fear food groups. Foods I wasn't exactly comfortable, like, stuffing my face with straight away. The best advice that I ever got and will probably ever give is take it day by day. Don't say, oh, this time in a week I want to gain this much, or in this time, you know, in a month I want to feel like this, because that feels so far away. Even if you're aiming, you know, for like a day's time, it makes the rest of the time between then and now a blur, and you're like, how am I ever going to get there? You know, it makes it seem so much more impossible if you set a long-term goal. So just take it day by day, and then you will, I promise you, like, you'll find it so much easier. I mean, you know, you might work differently, you might want to set yourself a goal, and that's fine, but I do feel like taking it day by day is still good advice and something that will help most of you. Okay, someone mentioned the topic of gaining weight when you haven't, like, you know, lost that much, but you still need to, like, you know, you still find yourself gaining weight because, you know, you might not have lost a lot, or you've only had like a small relapse, that kind of thing. Pretty short and straightforward answer, but I feel like, you know, it took me a couple of years, like, after recovery to realise this. If you give your body what it needs, you know, give it the minimum and then some, like, feed it right and look after it, and you still find yourself gaining, that is weight that you need to gain. Fair enough if you sit there, like, stuffing your face with chocolate all the time and then you gain, like, you're not gaining weight, you know, because of a healthy reason. But if you're just eating, like, a healthy, normal, balanced lifestyle, you're giving your body enough of what it needs, and, you know, then what you want as well. Don't find yourself trying to eat just the bare minimum. Then, you know, that's weight that you need to gain, and you'll end up, like, really enjoying, like, I ended up really enjoying looking after myself, and then that's where the body confidence came in. And then now when I gain, I don't mind. You just start to accept whatever your body does as, you know, it being something that it needed to do, hence why it did it. So I've answered a lot of questions about weight distribution before and said that, you know, I don't have an experience with it. Like, I was always a very, like, slim person. I never, you know, gained weight, only on some places, but I started to get it now that, you know, I'm gaining a little bit after this relapse, or, like, you know, just in the last 6 months where I've gained, I feel like I've gained enough now. I feel like I am at a healthy weight. But yeah, I'm starting to get what weight distribution is, you know, I'm experiencing it for the first time. And someone said to talk about gaining fat in the wrong places. There is no right place to gain fat, there is no wrong place to gain fat. Like, whatever your body does, just let it be, let it do, because, you know, that's natural. Everyone is so different. We're not all supposed to have like a tiny waist and big boobs, or if you're a man, you know, you're not expected to have a six-pack. Like, there is no right way. I saw this post on Instagram that I shared this morning. It was like, there is no right way to be a woman, and I was like, preach. You know, there is no right way to be a human being. We're all supposed to be different, so there's no wrong place to gain weight. I totally understand that you might be insecure if, you know, you're gaining it in one place and not another, but, you know, that's just your body, and love it and embrace it and practice looking after yourself, and you'll start to accept it and, you know, like it for what it is. I'm, you know, still learning to like the fact that, you know, I have a big chest and big hips for someone who is slim, you know, yet my waist and my arms are tiny and can't seem to put on any weight at all in those places. That's fine. I'm just letting my body do what it needs to do, you know. Whatever it does, it does. Whatever bees will be, whatever will be, yeah. I think this whole social media like perfect body thing still gets to so many of us more than we want to admit. I know it like gets to me if I see, you know, that I have big hips and that like, you know, these models have a small waist and small hips and they're tiny. I'm like, oh, why don't I look like that? But then I'm like, oh wait, I don't care. You know, you don't need to look a certain way. Okay, I like this one because I feel like it's appropriate to what I'm going through at the moment. And it's being scared of what other people think of your appearance. So I have an Italy holiday coming up in like 6 weeks. I'm doing some toning workouts and stuff, but I'm not doing it like for Italy, you know, but it's kind of, you know, just like extra motivation because, you know, I enjoy having like baby abs. It makes me feel, I literally say baby abs because I'm never going to get ripped, like I'm not that dedicated. But, you know, I'm enjoying looking after myself, I'm enjoying working out, getting fit, being healthy, and, you know, I'm looking forward to Italy if I do, you know, look quite defined and stuff. But I don't give a crap if I don't, and I don't give a crap if I eat 20 bowls of pasta, because I probably will. I'm in Italy and I eat 20 bowls of pasta anyway, even in England. But, you know, I don't care if I don't get defined abs before my holiday. People are going to see me in a bikini. They're going to see that, like, I'm slim but also curvy, which is kind of like a weird mix, and like, you know, my chest and my hips look massive compared to the rest of me, or my arms and my waist looks tiny compared to the rest of me. Because, you know, there's gonna be so many people there, they're gonna be worrying about themselves, having a good time. Like, something that I'm practicing, you know, something that I'm like going through at the moment and I'm practicing, I guess you could say, is like just not caring what people think. I've been like, you know, really telling myself not to care what people think for the last like 6 months now to a year, and it's just so nice to just not care what people think, like literally ever. Life is too short to care what other people are thinking. I don't know, it's such a different mindset to where I was even this time like 6 months ago. Like if someone's looking at you and is thinking something bad, like that's their problem. They're clearly not in a good place, or they're clearly very narrow-minded, you know, like to judge someone else's body. Like who gives a crap what someone else looks like? If you do, you got problems. The more I find myself telling myself that and, you know, really accepting it, the more I start to actually believe it. Okay, next topic, gaining weight and being scared that you're not going to stop gaining weight once you get to your healthy weight. Your healthy weight is a weight that, you know, your body naturally falls at, because that's the natural weight it's supposed to be when you're eating healthy and giving yourself enough food. So it's impossible for you, you know, unless you are stuffing your face constantly with an obscene amount of calories, you're not going to gain weight once you get to that point. It's been 2.5 years for me, and I've only really just stopped gaining because I didn't, like this time a year ago, I thought I was at a healthy weight. I was weight restored, but you know, 1 year later and I've put on another 2.5 stone. That 2.5 stone at first I thought was weight that wasn't natural for me to put on, and then I was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Am I eating like way too much food? But the answer was no, I wasn't. I now realise that this is the weight that I'm supposed to be at, because this is the weight my body has fallen at when I am eating enough and when I am eating what my body needs, and obviously, you know, a bit extra like what I want as well. But I'm not sitting in bed every night and having like 20 pints of Ben and Jerry's. Like, it would take a lot, you know, for you to gain past that point, and there is also no set minimum. So there might be like a minimum healthy weight that you can be at, but sticking to that I don't think is the best idea. Like, you know, give your body what you want as well. Don't just stick to the bare minimum that it needs, because there is no right weight for you to be. But yeah, you know, you're not going to keep getting past the weight that you're naturally supposed to be at, because it's the weight that your body stays at when you're feeding it right. I feel like these are really good questions and topics. I'm liking talking about these things. But someone said being afraid of going over the minimum healthy weight. So if you're at like your minimum healthy weight, you know, you're healthy, but you're probably not letting yourself indulge very much. And I know for me especially, I can't speak for anyone else, but I'm sure I'm not the only one, I'm not like at my happiest if I'm not letting myself have, you know, a chocolate bar, or like having my little ice cream pint party every couple of days, or like, you know, once a week, or that kind of thing. You've got to treat yourself, you know, life is too short, and your weight going up a little bit is not going to affect you negatively at all. Like I said, if I was to gain a stone right now, I wouldn't be any more unhealthy than I am now. There's just too much thinking that goes into people's weight and stuff, and there's all this crap on social media telling you that, you know, you've got to be the healthiest version of you. It's like, there's 50 versions of me that will be just as healthy as the other. Like, I could eat kale all day long and go to the gym 20 times a week. You shouldn't change your lifestyle and your happiness for the sake of looking better. You know, if you could have like the best makeup ever, but it would take you 6 hours every morning to do, would you do it? Probably not. So it doesn't make much sense that you would risk your happiness and stuff to stay at your bare minimum weight. I know that it's hard to, you know, like overcome that, and it's like a comfort weight, you want to stay at that weight, but introduce foods, you know, that you want to. Someone said what to do when you want to relapse because you miss your ED, so your eating disorder. Until about a year ago, I used to really miss my eating disorder, you know. I would miss the unhealthy buzz that I got from like losing weight and stuff, and I didn't know if that was ever gonna go away, like missing it. But I just pushed through it, you know, took it day by day, because I was like, you know, I'll never know if I don't try, maybe it will go away. And it has. I haven't felt like that, I want to say a year, maybe less. Recovery just kind of fixes everything. It's really weird. There's so many, you know, topics and stuff, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to just pushing through it and trying your best. And things always get better. That's all the questions I'm going to answer, because I don't want this video to be super long. But thank you for watching. Thank you for your questions as well, if you asked any. Sorry that I don't always get to, well, I like never get to answer them all. Like, there's always at least a couple that I leave out. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in my next video soon. Thank you for watching.